Dishing the super sport. Drink, drink, drink. There we go. There we go. All right. Sometimes it's just a little bit of a delay, but we here. We finally made it. We are live on both YouTube and Instagram. Shout out to everybody over in the IG world. Shout out to my peoples on the YouTube side. Happy Thursday. Hope you get the chance to enjoy the holiday tomorrow, the holiday being a day off. We, do your history. Know your history. Know your history. Might be 250 for the US. But for us, little bit different. Don't let them give you the I'm about to say though, whitewashed information. But happy Thursday, man. Kicking off July on the back end of the year. Third quarter has officially commenced, and I hope you have all intentions to make it a great 6 months. We got to make the most of our time because we not promised none of it. Not a bit. Not a lick. But I digress. Tonight's episode is appropriately titled, I Saw Two OGs Unite by Touching Fedoras. Wild world. Wild. They did like this. Like they got the Wonder Twin powers. I've been seeing a lot of people doing this kind of like Wonder Twin powers activate type of action. I told y'all about the bald-headed party. They had all the bald-headed brothers united by dapping duds. I don't really like to, I don't really like to I don't like to have anything on my milk dud kind of personal space, except if it's your baddie. Only your baddie really should be touching your cranium, chrome dome. A bald man will tell you, if you done ever had your woman rub your head, not with malice, but with love and tenderness. It's an amazing feeling. I wish all my bald-headed brothers and sisters. Shout out my girl from ESPN. Shout out the light-skinned girl that be doing the self-care tutorials. I hope the man of your choice caresses your scalp with love and tenderness. And for the fellas, for big boys, for my players, I hope the woman of your dreams caresses your scalp. Don't let no other brother be, gripping your scalp up or slap you in the back of the head. None of that other buzz, you know what I mean? Stuff that'll get you minked. But we continue on. Now, it's only been a few days, but in those few short days, a lot has taken place. I don't know what the hell going on in 2026. Too much for my personal preference, but you know, we still navigate. We still navigate. So ring the bell, the Liberty Bell, that is. Kick off my theme song, the 76ers theme song. Why? Because we recently announced that we have acquired NBA All-NBA former Finals MVP All-Star guard Jaylen Brown via trade. That's right, baby. I told all my people on social media, I said, hey, grab your can of Beijing. We lit. Grab you a good old can of that shoe polish. Cause we ready to ride. We got our key piece. Now, I could be a player hater, which I decide I will be, and give the universal peace out to Paul George, aka Playoff P, aka PEDP. Join me. Peace out. Now, I ain't going to disrespect you totally, because after you came back off of your suspension, let me say it again, suspension, you was cooking from 3-point land. And I did capitalize on the parlay. Shout out to Fanatics. Well, shout out to anybody who pays appropriately on them 3 threes from Paul George. But Paul George was tripping in the Knicks series because he'd go crazy. You up there in Boston, Beantown, with the light-skinned wonder, Jason Tatum. Do you feel that this was a good trade? Who do you think won? Me personally, as a Sixers fan, we won. We have a great roster, great starting lineup. Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Jaylen Brown. They said we got Dean Wade from the Cavaliers, a.k.a. White Wade. And the man in the middle, Joel the Process Embiid. Now, we all know, as everybody has alluded to, you know, given Joel Embiid's health or lack thereof, can't count on him for all season. But if he can maintain, give it. Let me get 60 of them things. Let me get 60. We might can make something happen. And we got a dog. We got a dog in Jaylen Brown. He's going to be aggressive. He's going to be that piece that, you know, with all due respect to the other players on the Sixers, they're more talented players. But sometimes you need, that's what Iverson was. Iverson said, he a dog. So I'm looking forward. And he's coming in here with something to prove. Because the media, the man, has been out here slandering his name. First off, shout out to my boy Mason. Good, you know, my people's content strategist and creator. But, you know, works with Lamont Roach, but also works with Jaylen Brown amongst other clients. But they've been out here slandering Jaylen Brown's name. They recently, following the trade, they said, oh, the trade was because he's known as a disease. He thinks he's the smartest person in the room. Mother, he went to Cal Berkeley. They say the brother worked for NASA. He out here with it. He is the smartest person in the room. And of course, the ironic nature, what a coincidence. It's a disease when a black man is smartest in the room. I wonder why. Malcolm X said the most dangerous man in America is an educated black man. Don't let them disrespect you, Jaylen. I know I talked about your hairline and, you know, the Beijing running off on the other players. But I said that because I care. I said that because I was ready to recruit you to Ball Brothers United and send out your application. But let it be clear, I'm on your side. Nationwide is on your side. In addition, we picked up some other players, so I think it's going to be a great time for the Sixers. Let's stay locked in. Let's see how this thing works out. Now, in other news, in other basketball news, the WNBA starters were announced. Let me see if I can pull them up for you real quick. Bear with me. WNBA. Let me see if I can punch this in for y'all. WNBA All-Star starters. All right. Get that picture for y'all so y'all can see who the starters are. WNBA. Alright, so y'all can see who it is, you know what I mean, who the starters is. Alright, let's bring this up for y'all, you know what I mean. Your boy learning how to, you know, work the magic out here. Yeah. Alright, y'all, let's take a look here. Middle State. All right, let's take a look. All right, as you can see, I'm scrolling here and bringing this down so y'all can see the starters pool. But yes, the starters, excuse me, starters here, Aaliyah Boston, Paige Beckers, Caitlin Clark. We also have Natasha Howard from the Minnesota Lynx, as well as Jersey's own Olivia Miles. Shout out Olivia Miles for being the only rookie selected as the All-Star starter this year. The other 5 starters, Kelsey Mitchell, Jessica Shepard of the Dallas Wings, Breanna Stewart of the New York Liberty, Gabby Williams, shout out Gabby Williams, one of my favorite players from the Golden State Valkyries, and of course A'ja Wilson to round out the list. Now I must say this is a pretty good list. I actually voted this year, you know, did my WNBA All-Star voted, and I got 7 out of the 10. Okay, the only people I did not select Breanna Stewart, Kelsey Mitchell, and I'm going to say Jessica Shepard, I think was the other person I did not select. So, for me, I think that was really interesting, you know. I ain't going nowhere. I think, honestly, y'all, the list was pretty decent. My concern in terms of the snubs, only really one major snub, which is what most people are saying, is that there are no starters from the Atlanta Dream, which is like, okay, what's going on? That was a bit, you know, concerning. Appreciate you, Sheila. I appreciate that. Shella K. Shella. Is it Shella K? Is it shellac? Is you shellacking? Appreciate you being here. If it's your first time here in the live, as I always mention, make sure you drop the emoji with the sunglasses in it. If it's not, if you're actually part of the loyal team, the Playas Circle, if you are a player or a baddie, make sure you throw that emoji in there, that number one, aka you gotta believe. That YGB, you gotta believe. That YGB. If you part of that YGB gang, make sure you drop it in the chat. All right. But continuing on, most people believe that the snub starter would indeed be one of the Atlanta Dream, probably most specifically, that would be Angel Reese. I think she's probably the most obvious snub. She's been playing great ball, and the team is top 4 in the league. So to not have any starters while the Indiana Fever have 3 is a bit surprising. Now, if my unbiased opinion, all 3 of the players from the Indiana Fever were probably going to make the All-Star game. Kelsey Mitchell is the bomb.com. Aaliyah Boston, definitely, one of the more talented front court players, and Caitlin Clark, is one of the more popular players in the league. Very polarizing. That's the best word to use. One of the more polarizing figures in the league. Now, me personally, feel like they could have potentially got 2. Oh, my boy in here. Shout out AA Ron. I see my artist in here, Cheek the Prophet, over on the IG side. Appreciate y'all for pulling up. Yeah, man, let me know what's going on. We don't need no lagging action at all. Weed and water. Now, continuing on, the only other thing that was taking place in the past couple of days that was interesting, that really got people's attention, was this Empire State date, if you will. Now, there was a crazy report in which 2 people climbed the Empire State Building in New York, climbed to the top, placed a flag on the Empire State Building. In addition, the 2, which were apparently a couple, the man proposed to the young lady. Now, first of all, I'm always intrigued by things like this. First of all, they're going to eventually make a movie about this somehow. That's how this always goes. But these people are like, roof toppers. They climb buildings and do things of that nature. But they snuck in, they broke a door and climbed to the top of the antenna. This is 1,454 feet above the ground. The Daredevil duo is known as Angela Nicolau and Ivan Birkis Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov? What the? Can we get some video footage of this? Apparently they hid in the Empire State Building the night before. And of course, facing charges. What would you expect? Now, a lot of people had some opinions about this. My main opinion being, hey, just because this brother want to climb to the top of the, don't get no ideas, baddies, because I ain't doing it. No, I ain't doing it. People are always trying to get some crazy ideas. I ain't doing it. What you think we on? Let me show y'all what's going on over here so y'all can see this craziness. Yeah, look at this, man. Straight foolishness. Oh, wait, man. Hold on a second. Let's bring this back. Yo, what's up? Oppression is up. Struggle is up. Because y'all out here climbing the empire. Look how tall it is. Look how it says, when the power of love beats the love of power, the world knows peace. What in the hell are y'all doing? Then he proposed. Yo, they are so high in the air. Look at this. She wanted to get the picture. It's always about the picture. Yo, y'all tripping. Shout out to them, though. Shout out to them. It ain't that deep for me. No freaky. Turn you freaky now. What's the craziest thing that Cho have done for love? I know it ain't climb no damn Empire State Building. I put on Twitter earlier, I said, damn, I'm going to have to moonwalk across the Sears Tower to get some draws. Lord have mercy. Let's go ahead and get on to the next segment in the show. You know, as always, we had a great show on Tuesday. We talked about Ray J versus Orlando Brown. Lord have mercy. The upcoming celebrity boxing match. Talked about LaVar Ball and the Tina Ball divorce. And I said, I apologize. I incorrectly stated that, Tina Ball had a bout with cancer. She did not have a bout with cancer. She had she had a stroke. And so, my sincere apologies for the mistake, the error. But that being said, again, we still wish both parties the best. And then we also talked about Ceddy's recipe, which was, I'ma pray for you. I'ma pray for you. But let's get into tonight's ball-headed logic. The ball-headed logic for tonight is understand the declining value of a crash out. We must understand the declining value of a crash out. Is the crash out ever really worth it? It's definitely worth identifying before you go and get in, get into your mode. I would say so. It's really, really rare at this juncture in my life that the crash out is worth it. You really have to determine the intentions and what can be gained from it. Shout out to the homie Jay Catalyst. Jay Catalyst is a good friend of mine, a music professional, manager, also an artist himself and the creator. He does a number of things. But on his Instagram today, he had posted a message, and the message was right on time for me because, your boy is in the midst of self-growth, improvement. And in the message today, he was speaking about not always needing to explain or complain. Not always needing to explain or complain. And that was right on time for me because we get so wrapped up in needing to validate ourselves and our emotions that we will do the most. And instead of speaking with action, we speak with reaction, but we also speak with words. And trust me, y'all, like he said, there's never really a space in which words are going to do more than actions. Captain Nugs, what's good? Crystal Bailey, how you feeling? Tap in with me. If you new, make sure y'all subscribe and join the Playas Circle. But right now we're in the midst of the ball-headed logic. Now, as I was saying, in the world that we live in, is very rare in which your words are going to have more impact than your actions. A lot of people like to talk. Talk, just running loose lips is what they like to call it. But I want you to understand and be very clear that in the world when you are doing a lot of explaining, complaining, or defending yourself, those are all moments in which you are taken away from improving yourself, is what my friend Jay Catalyst mentioned, and I thought the message was right on time. So instead of deciding, you know what, in whatever circumstance, whether it's at the job, whether it's with family, whether it's in a relationship, that it's time for me to crash out, it's time for me to make myself known, my feelings known. Understand that sometimes silence is golden. Silence in the sense of using your actions. Not only to express anger, but to show understanding. To reconcile. Nothing says I understand and I apologize like the actions or understanding and executing upon what a person's frustration was with you. Somebody says, yo, every time we talk, you're not paying attention to me. Telling them, look, I got a lot on my mind. And this is going, you're not understanding. You're not showing me anything. You're just doing a lot of talking. If you really care, show through your actions. Simple, I understand, I got you. And when somebody is talking, you paying attention. If somebody is making you feel diminished or of less value, okay, I'm going to show you where the value is. I'm going to prove it to you. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to prove it. I'm a man that really, really desires, if I can be transparent, I really desire to be recognized as a high-level manager, a high-level man. Not high value, but high level. We don't want to get into all them conversations, but sometimes the best way to do that is to get to work. So I urge y'all to understand that. And as opposing to crashing out, I ask you to cash out. Cash out. Get your money. Put the money where the mouth is. Turn you freaky now. But put in the work. Put in the work. That's going to have way more value than the proposed crash out ever will. Sometimes you got to prove to people things by your actions and not your words. Trust me. Trust me. All right. You want to make somebody take notice? Get to action. They'll take it serious. So that's the ball-headed logic for the day. All right. Use it. Know it. Become it. Embody it. All right, y'all. Let's keep it moving. Let's see what's been going on. Let's see what the world has been talking about. Oh, so let's get into this. Now, by now, I'm sure you all have heard or sang or partied to the proposed song of the summer, Spin That, by Young Miami, formerly of the City Girls. And this song has been the subject of many debates, primarily because some of the lyrics and suggestions of the record and how they play out as far as morals and values. And the discussions have been, on one side, it's not that deep. It's just a song. The other side has been, it is. We out here singing about scamming and kind of manipulating. And unfortunately, in a society where we always have to be careful about how we present ourselves, how does this play a role? Now, as the story goes, there are some recent posts by talented R&B and soul singer India Ari, who was discussing the song and made some posts, made her opinion known, or her feelings known about the record. She made some posts, basically talking about how she wasn't a fan of the record. If I can keep it straightforward. And for me, I thought it was interesting because people are responding back to her, you know, oh, she's a respectability politician. For those who don't know, respectability politics is when you tell people, they need to live a certain way, they shouldn't do this, and this is how they should, how they should behave. And again, can go, several ways. But I think the thing that, people were just saying is like this record, as far as how it is reaching levels and everybody is singing it, and when you hear the lyrics, you're just like, this isn't this isn't the thing that I really want my children, or really your people saying. So I think it gets really, really interesting, man. It's tough because um, the song, if you've heard it, I have my own personal opinions about it. Personally, while it's not the first, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, just because it's not the first doesn't make it any better. You know what I mean? I don't. Again, it's the comparison of trauma for me. It's like, hey man, yes, we had WAP, 4 or 5 years ago. Prior to that, we had they was posting about Oops, which was basically talking about credit card scamming. We've had songs throughout the length of time. If you were a millennial, you grew up in the era of not only just the female records, but the male records that were very, very suggestive, and either suggestive or inappropriate. But I think again, it's a number of different elements that play into this. It's supposedly, Young Miami or Carisha's affiliation with Diddy. I've seen that as part of it. It's just always the energy that is put into it about wanting the men to, just basically be sugar daddies, or even worse, tricks, and or the Johns in this case. But there are so many different things that could be said in a record that utilize the strategies that make hit records. So as a manager, it's my job to study about what are the things that help to create hits, what are the small nuances, production side, songwriting side, that create the energy for this to be a hit record. The thing that's always interesting is that these tactics are always used with lyrics and agendas and motives that never present our people in a positive light. Now, can you sing it? Can you enjoy it and not be compromised by it? Sure. As I told y'all in the segment I did about motivation rap, them jokers was talking about selling drugs. I've never moved a nickel, dime, penny, nothing. And those songs were, in some level, inspirational to me, or I've sung those records. So again, I don't want to be a hypocrite. That being said, as an adult, adults do adult things, So I think about what I'm hearing. I'm thinking about what I'm saying. And, depending on your opinion of the record, is the record really, that dynamic, especially when you have some of these other talented artists out here. These are all things that are taken into consideration when you talk about this record. But I think the interesting thing is that we all get the opportunity to decide whether we're going to participate in it or not. We don't get the opportunity to avoid it, because the marketing powers that be are going to make sure that this record is heard, or whatever record they want to push. It's your decision whether you want to participate in it. That being said, I understand India Ari's feelings about it. Me, as a person that I am, I try to walk a balanced life. Whereas I understand that we are flawed human beings and we're not going to always be on the side of good, for lack of a better word. So I do my best to try to be on the side of righteousness and positivity. Apologize for my sins and try my best to limit them. But blatantly, participating in the singing of kind of inappropriate behavior, now as the man that I am, I try to limit that. So spin that. While I may, say it every now and again, is that I'm not in the club, hitting the twirl, or I be seeing guys going crazy to it, but I do recognize that it's very, very popular right now, and that it's captivated a lot of people. So if you're out and about, I can't necessarily judge anybody that's singing along. That just ain't my flavor. And I think you have to determine where you stand on toxic or, volatile themed records, because if they got the right production, if it has the right rhythm, it's gonna go. You know what I mean? I really want to play the record. I always forget their name or what the rhythm was taken from. I was sharing it with my girl Key Story, where Spin That was interpolated from, and it's a famous record, The Electric Feel by MGMT. That record, if you a Madden player, you've heard the record several times. So that's always just one of them interesting situations. It's like they already knew what they was doing. You take a listen. So the beat that's playing, this is the original. And this, obviously, the Electric Feel was a hit. Shout out to all my Madden players. If you play Madden, you know about this record. But these, over and over again, artists just go into the catalog, the database, and gather feelings and emotions. And as a result, they just try to replicate that to make you feel that, because they know it's going to work. Even with not only the rhythm of it, the way that the song is sang, almost like a sing along. It reminds you of the 2010s and 2000s and 2010s types of records. So it has a certain level of nostalgia. And so these are all things that people use to capture your attention and get you caught up. So you out here, you know what I mean, singing along Young Miami like you Saucy Santana. So, just be mindful of the different things and listen for, the messages, and be careful of the messages that you consume, because as I said, these things they do have impact more than sometimes you get to think about. But what's your thoughts on it, man? Are you still rocking? You singing out there? Spin that. You out here spinning that? I'm telling you, fellas, be careful, because you're gonna find you a nice little lady, and you think you got something. She gonna tell you spin that. You be like, damn, I don't even know you like that. So just keep that in mind. But yes, This is really interesting, man. So, Landon Hall asked me, do I play Roblox? No, I'm not a Roblox player. And my son used to play Roblox when he was a bit younger. Yes, man, asking what is Yes, man, you can answer that better than me, brother. I don't know. You let me know between you and your mama. But yeah, man. I think that's really, really interesting. You know, trying to figure out whether you can vibe or not, you know. So but we've been rolling, and I really just wanted to pull up on y'all, talk a little bit about what's been going on. I'm not gonna hold you too much longer. We really are excited to see you know, what the weekend is like. Y'all let me know what y'all getting into, man. Let me know what you're getting into. I need to know, are you celebrating? Are you cooking out? Are you going to be at the crib? You going out to party? Make sure whatever you do, you enjoying yourself. You know what I mean? And being safe above all things. So until later, you know, I will catch y'all. I'll be back after the weekend so that we can link. Y'all can let me know how things went down. But you know what it is. Your boy here to help, here to be of entertainment and insight. So do what you got to do, but keep it blessed, keep it real, but always keep it playing. We out. I see you, Landon.